How you guys doing? It's migration day, and yes, it's gonna be a crazy one because we're gonna find out finally where the hell have I applied and migrated to, and on top of that, we're obviously gonna showcase off a bit of our empire and talk about some of the hot changes that did occur in our group too, which did throw quite people off guard too, and even finish off the video with the migration passes. So it's going to be a crazy one. Smash like, comment, and subscribe. And you know what to do. Check out my creator link down below for Eneba if you purchase any Apex or obviously Empire coins for your account. It supports me and my channel. So thank you for all of you guys that do that. So let's talk about migration, because this is the kind of the big one, and I want to kind of go through kind of the beginning of the story first, because it will make a bit more sense and kind of explain the journey of our migration, and especially the channel's journey, as you guys should know. So many people will remember, if they know about myself and they're not new, that I started out in Empire 64, and this was, as people know, the global content creator tournament server where Chisgull Gaming, Armyy, and myself were put into a empire, and we were competing, and whoever won that actual, reward and won the event, and their actual alliance got a ton of rewards for doing so. And it was kind of live streamed by myself, and obviously I made a bunch of content for that, and showcasing a bit of the guides and what we were running, and a little bit of behind the scenes, from our point of view, when it was me and Armyy take on Chisgull Gaming and the Smash Squad on there, right? So that's kind of like our history. And after that all concluded, many people know myself and our alliance obviously all became part of S64, and then we ran Empire 64. It was as simple as that, right? So because of that, over the years, migration comes. We wanted to migrate people in. Groups got announced. Our people we wanted to migrate in couldn't, and because of that, our empire kind of suffered, right? So now it came to the second migration, and it was another option. Do you want to try and migrate 75 people in and try and get these, special ones in? Do you want to try and get all this done? Or is it just better with the group of people that you want to take? Is it better just to migrate out? And we made that decision to migrate out. And I know a lot of people wanted to come into 64, and I will say, if you go to 64, you will be under the rule, I believe, of Cat, which is Texan, and fair play to them if they stay there, and whatever happens to 64 happens to 64, but I will not be there, right? Because we migrated out, and what we wanted to do is find an empire that for around 19 UTC, because that would be perfect for me for live streaming, and it's more better for NA and EU times, because at the moment, if you go for the 1 or 2 UTC time slots for the Europeans, it's brutal waking up at that time, or trying to stay up at that time to wake up in 4 hours, right? It's just brutal. It's to be real with each other, right? So we was looking for one which was 19 UTC. That was the first kind of tick that needed to happen on any of these empires. The next one, as you guys probably guess, is the leading empire. So you needed it to be a leading empire, and the reason why is you're in the top 20% in power of each migration zone, and that means you are basically fighting at the highest level. And this is kind of, as you guys will know, especially from my earlier video, which you guys really enjoyed, which I think it's already hit like 3K, which is crazy. You guys know I want to go into more competitive direction, right? I don't want to keep collecting all these heroes and freestyling all these heroes, even though I will try to do that when I can, but I want to prioritize being a main to a unit and being competitive and actually doing some work out there in my own niche, right? So to do that, we need to get into a competitive empire. So you have to be a leading empire, unfortunately, in our group. So you can see there's already 2 requirements that kind of we needed for us to go in. The third one is to do with the slots. So you can see how many slots each of these empires have, right? So you can see there's 25 out of 50 there. If we go to Empire 10, you got 32 out of 50. So you can see there's 50 of these slots that are available. And the thing is, because of this, you've got to think the empire themselves that you're migrating into needs to be able to take in our group, because we want to bring in not 1, 2, 3. We want to bring in 20, maybe 30 players. You know what I mean? We've got a big competitive group of players that want to go and move up. So they need to be able to cater towards that. And because of that, obviously, the leadership team, and a big shout out to the Empire 64 leadership team, which was Steve, Sonic, Soundwave, Riv, Super, I think Red as well. I might be missing someone out, and if I am, I'm so sorry. But the leadership team of 64 basically took it in control and honestly knew the best intentions for all of us, because we had town hall meetings regularly about upcoming empires that we could migrate to, what's the good ones, what are the ones that are maybe potentially bad, and maybe options if you don't want to go to any of these empires that we wanted to go. So honestly, for us, they gave us honestly all the answers and even dealt with the craziness that is about to happen, because we honestly almost was locking in between two empires, and it is between Empire 9 and Empire 10. Both of these empires are really goddamn competitive. And the thing is, though, we were hearing news about some craziness that was about to happen in Empire 10, which I will be able to showcase in this video, that was about to happen. Because as you guys know, there's Empires 98 and Empires 130 in this group too. And as many people was thinking, Empire 98 wasn't accepting people coming in because of certain things that was going to happen, right? Which is kind of a little mini spoiler of what's about to go on. Because of that, then Empire 10 are in this weird situation compared to Empire 9, where Empire 10 had not as many special migration slots. They were literally limited to, I believe, 1. And 1 is the kind of game breaker for the Empire 10, because the thing is, obviously for our Empire 64 group to migrate to anywhere, we need Kaifas to come with us, and Kaifas is a 200 and some odd million power player, right? So because of that, he would take up the special migration slot. The issue is, though, Empire 10 also needed that special migration slot for their friend to come in. And it's one of them where you can see both sides of this, where us or the leadership of Empire 64 might have felt a little bit upset and, you know, disheartened at the fact that they kind of kicked out Kaifas for their friend. But you got to think, we're literally doing the same thing where we are bringing all of our friends, because we want to play with our friends at the end of the day, to the Empire. So what ended up happening then is, because Empire 10 wanted their friend to come in, Kaifas couldn't join, and because of that, that's a deal breaker, even for me and for a lot of the guys in Empire 64. So because of that, it left us with Empire 9. And honestly, Empire 9, I'm obviously going to be transparent. I don't know how transparent those guys are, but because of that, it allowed us to come into Empire 9 and talk to them, and obviously they wanted us to come anyway and were really happy that we were joining Empire 9. So as you guys will see now, if we jump out, I am now an Empire 9 member of the game, and I cannot wait for this next chapter, because the thing is, it's all about the story, I think, in Age of Empires Mobile. It is. People get hung up about trying to hide things that happen, or, you know, situations that occur, but migration and stuff like this occurs all the time in the game. And I think being transparent and showcasing people and telling people about this is going to be better, because what it teaches you right now, if you've not learned the lesson already, is when it comes to migration and it comes to your group that you want to migrate to, you can't put all your eggs in one basket, especially if you're a group of players and you've got maybe, you know, a bunch of friends that want to come, and maybe one or two of your friends are big power players and they need those special slots. Because of that, it does make you need to think of multiple plans, because you never know. Empire 10, I might have joined Empire 10, you know, who knows? But Empire 9 was another option, right? We also had, I think it was Kingdom, I could be completely wrong here, but I think it was Kingdom 8 was another one which you could have gone to, which would have been really interesting to play in, right? And one of these early empires too, really interesting ones that we could have gone in Empire 1 or 2. So it was like we had options. And I think that is kind of the moral of the story here, that in migration, if you've never experienced migration before as a new player, always have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. Because at the end of the day, when you go to migrate, you got to think about a little bit of yourself, because it is where you're about to play and where you're about to join. And you got to think how the Empire where you're joining, do they think and feel the same way as you do, right? And that's kind of the whole bread and butter of it. And I think that's what's going to be really interesting, because today, I think when I do my live stream later on, you guys are going to go into the chat crazy, talking about who migrated where, talking about the big changes and all of that drama, because there is one insane thing that happened in our group. And it's the one thing I think caught a lot of people off guard until we see it, right? Which was Empire 98's and Empire 130's fancy karate. Because when I first spoke to him, I did say it would be really cool if you guys, you know, was able, especially karate, if he was able to kind of play around our time. Because it would be cool if he was able to get our group plus karate and put it into one empire, because that is a lot of quality and a lot of players that are going to turn up, going to fight and make a good competitive empire while still having slots free still for players not needing special migration slots, right? But the issue I think were karate, especially in 98, I believe is Asian time zone. I could be completely wrong, but I believe it's Asian time zone. So because of that, we didn't think anything of it, and obviously we couldn't join 98 for the same reason. So what was crazy, and as I kind of alluded to earlier on, is these special migration slots, because Empire 10 needed 3 of them. And that is because our man, the myth, the legend, Karate Boy, is in Empire 10 with all 3 of his accounts. All 3 accounts consolidated into Empire 10, which does mean is Empire 10 is gonna be a scary powerhouse here. But they've got 13.7 billion power and 9.3 billion power now because of that, right? So you can kind of see where they lie. In again, I think anyone who's watching this video, especially if you're in Empire 10, you can see I don't hate anything, because I think this is the correct choice if you are trying to be a competitive empire. If you can get this guy in and more people in, fair play. Obviously, they wanted to get one of their friends in. That kind of broke the deal, but it is what it is. We want to play with our friends. That's why we didn't come to Empire 10 at the end of the day, right? Even though we still had that option. And I do want to make that clear. I still believe, for anyone who's watching this right now, if you are in Empire 64 and you have got good power, you've got good merits, and you are turning up and you reach out to the Empire 10 guys, they have migration quota still. And I will tell you, Empire 10 or Empire 9, where I am at right now, if they have spaces available and you talk to them, I will tell you, they will accept you. They will accept you, because they're good guys at the end of the day. They want to be competitive empires, and you can't hate on that. So I do want to say, and a big shout out to Group 1 here, to anyone who's looking to try and go anywhere. These 2 empires, probably if you speak to them, if they've got space, will do that. So a little bit of recruitment for both of them there, right? So no ill feelings at all here. I just want to tell that kind of story of all what has happened, because like I said, Migration Day, I think, is going to be a crazy one to hear where people have gone, how big certain alliances have been, and how things are. So because of that, let's now talk about our new home, because it's about time we talk about the new home and the new step and the new chapter in the channel's journey. Because you guys know, as I said last week, which I think it's got over like 3,000 views, so thank you for all the guys that have watched it so far, that I want to be more competitive. I don't want to keep collecting heroes anymore. I know I've been doing that and helping you guys with 3-star testing on the account, but it's time to be competitive, right? And to be competitive, we need to knuckle down, focus down on one troop type, even if it's not the meta troop type. We still got to knuckle down and be competitive in that regard, right? So that's what we were doing, right? And our home, our boys here in Empire 9 instantly welcomed us in the Divine Imperium. And Divine Imperium is our #1 alliance in Empire 9. And we have an amazing little Empire list here because we also have homed, I believe, I might be wrong, but it is one of the larger communities of Turkish players. So, and I love Turkish people. I'm going to be real. I love going there on holiday, haircut, you name it. Go Turks, right? Literally, like their good old name, Go Turk, right? Really cool people, love it. And you can see 12.9 billion power, 9.8 billion power here. And we've got the Band of Brothers at 5.5. So they are going to be able, even at 5.5 billion, to kind of put a little stab, little shank in the kidneys and help the big boys out, especially in maybe tower gameplay and so on, right? So I can't wait to see all of this play out for the first time. I cannot wait for our first Mightiest Empire, our first Golden Expedition, and especially our very first Desolate Desert. It's gonna be insane. And to kind of throw up a bit more love to the Empire 9, let's talk about some of the powerhouses here, because as you guys will know, if you check out my obviously videos, my ranking in Empire 64 was in the top 50, I believe. I was in the top 50 in power. Here we are ranked 142. We are no longer in the top 100, which does, I'll be honest, get me kinda tingly, because it makes me want to get up there now. Like, I want to break this 75 million power barrier, which is only 7 million power, which I think I can do, and get back into that top 100. Like, this is what I've been missing, this competitive, like, that I wanted, and this honestly is showing it off, right? And you can see in here, if we just go back down to myself, there's me, obviously MrSneakyy in here, and Shadow from our Empire 64. We've got a bunch of us guys from our Empire in here that you will recognize if you've seen. So big shout out to our group that's made it so far, but big shout out to all of the Turkish and obviously the Divine Imperium, that is Empire 9, that has accepted us in, giving us a warm welcome, giving us so much love already. And honestly, they're so excited to obviously have us here and just to see what fun content they can do. Like, they have said already to me, like, bro, we want to go hard, so when you go on your live stream, you go hard on your live stream. Like, and I feel that energy and I love it. So this is why already you can see I'm excited, I'm smiling, I'm happy, I cannot wait for the future and the new chapter of competitiveness that you're going to start seeing here on our channel here. So big shout out to Empire 9 and all of the top basically 142 players that we can see here. And I will show off the top 150 just to be nice, because it's a bit weird being the top 142. We've got to do at least the top 150, right? But you can, if you see your name, big shout out to you guys. Honestly, it's going to be super fun seeing us all come together and seeing what shit we can fuck up. Let's be honest, let's fuck up some shit. That's what we want to do. We want to win. So I cannot wait to see. So it's going to be crazy. That's the top 3: Legion Sada, Kaifers, and Ali the Great. It's going to be a super fun, obviously, atmosphere. And again, cannot wait until what happens. So just to show off that 150, like I did say I would do. There you go, big Fowie in there for our ranking. So our Empire is looking saucy, and like I said, it does make me want to be more competitive. So it does mean now what I'm able to do is actually start doing my adornment testing, which I want to do. Test all of my adornments, swap these in and out, because you guys know I have all of the archer adornments so I can actually test for specifically Ramses as well, in Ramses archers, what is the best kind of adornments that you want to run in there. And then, as you guys can guess it, I can start intensifying them and gaining a truck ton of power and start pushing and pushing and pushing, as you guys guessed, to 140 heroes. Since we are getting there, we've got 5 out of 10 on the research, 3 out of 10 on all of the Hall of Powers, so we are pushing up on there. So you could see we are going for it. And at the moment, and I kind of want to make this one clear, 7.6 million merits, it's okay. That's just for me turning up to merit fights, you know, like actual like IC fights, not farming merits by farm killing, right? That's just straight up killing for towers and rallies and garrison, right? Which isn't bad. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to start seeing that number climb a lot higher soon. So keep an eye on it. It's 7.6 now, but let's see what it's going to end up at the end of the year, basically, when we fully played with Empire 9 for another basically 12 months of Age of Empires Mobile, because it is around this date when our Empire 64 was obviously just starting out and playing out. So it is kind of crazy. It is just kind of crazy where we come. So big shout out to you guys. I hope you've enjoyed all of this section of the video. And if you guys do want to support my actual channel directly, you can as well if you want. People have done it already. So I want to shout out obviously Corsia and Wanda again, who basically took my governor ID here and then they sent me Apex. So if you want to help the channel and help me as a content creator and help me get towards this 140, let me know in the DMs in Discord and I can help as well, and obviously we can start pushing towards that. So to kind of finish off the video, and what I do want to talk about, as you guys know, was the migration cost. And I will be honest, big W to the devs, like I did say at the beginning, because they have nailed it. You can see the costs of all of the migration passes, and on top of this, as many people will tell you, if I go into, I think my system should say it, our actual migrations passes that we bought, hopefully it shows you. It doesn't even show it anymore. Damn. You're able to get for 5,000 Empire coins, I think it's 1 or 2 migration passes. So even for free-to-play players, with the ones that they gave you all the time, plus that, you got a good amount, right? But on top of this, like I was saying, with those packs, they are insanely cheap, right? And this is the one thing everyone, including myself, was worried about, but they nailed it. No matter how many you needed in any configuration, you could pay the cheapest amount. It was no longer you need to try and get this, this, and this, and this, right? If you needed 50 passes or 40 passes, bro, you could literally have bought either this one 4 times or bought this one. And it's basically, you would have got 10 more here and a bit more better stuff here than, you know, the passes individually, right? But you could, 269 free passes, 99 for 1. Like, you can see this is exactly what we needed. You can see I only needed to get 2 here, 2 here. It cost me like $5. $5, literally $6 in order to migrate. I think out of any game so far, and anyone will tell you, this has been the cheapest migration it has ever been for anyone playing one of these games. And because of that, I will say big W to the devs. They have nailed this. The only thing they need to nail next time in migration, in my opinion, is smaller groups, but still maintain groups. So if they've got groups of 62 to 68 servers in 3 groups, hey, you've just taken away 5 and put it to 3. So that's all you've done. 5 groups to 3 groups. And you might be able to have some more interesting things that happen with that in the future for global. So yeah, big W for, honestly, the migration side of things. I will be 100% honest. Really fucking good with that. On top of this, just to kind of give you guys some kind of showcase of it, and I know people are going to kind of go crazy, but when you migrate, you need to go to your battle pass. Why? Because the kingdom's horde will reset for you right now, and as you can see, it's only got 1 day and 12 hours to do. if you really want to be a super mid-maxer, you could try to complete some of these quests. Like, you could try to get some of them done, like search for mounts 3 times. So if I go over here, for example, search for mounts, right, 3 times, I'm going to do it 16 times. If I just do it this one time, you'll see where I'm going to go with this, right? You can try and save yourself some pennies if you want, but right now, for many people, right, look, you can hit this, you can hit this, you can go to the rewards, and if you want to unlock it, you can unlock it right now, and on top of that, you can go into your upgrades, and guess it, boom, pay the 26k. And I know right now, this doesn't seem like it's value, right? But let me just come back with that. So now watch the difference between this now, because obviously a little cut there, and it will make sense, because as you can see, we've obviously got the pass now. And when you hit upgrade, it's a lot different, because you're only paying 10,000 Empire coins, right? You got 16,000 here being paid out, and it might even be 16.6, you don't know, right? But you have enough Empire coins here covered, right? So you're paying 10,000 Empire coins for 4,000 meteorite. You're getting a choice chest straight away. You're getting your speed ups, you're getting the XP, you're getting this, you're getting all of this, and then it keeps going. You're getting all of this, all 40 sculptures for 10. Just do it. And if you really want to be anal, like I said, guys, if you really want to be anal and save a little bit, you can, and no one will hate you for doing it, but you've got 1 day and 12 hours. So if you can go to your quests and complete as many of these quests as you can, especially these ones, as fast as you can in one go, well, obviously it's going to save you Empire coins, because if you didn't know, when you buy obviously both sides of the Kingdom's Horde, right, you're getting these 1,000 bundles, and they keep coming very often, right? So because of that, that's what kind of makes it worth it, because you're getting partial of your investment back. It's not 26k. It's 16k, right? Or 10k, should I say. So the fact that it's cost us 10,000 is just bonkers right now, I'm going to be honest. And I'm pretty certain this also applied to a lot of different stuff as well. I don't know how much in the store it actually applied to, but I do believe it did apply to a lot of the variety of different spending aspects. So that's why it was, if you were a spender, kind of crazy to migrate to because of this, right? So that is it. That is basically everything covered. Empire 9, thank you for welcoming me. It's going to be our next chapter together. Can't wait to see all of the competitive that's going to come out of us and our Turkish friends and the bros in the third alliance. So can't wait for that. And if you guys have enjoyed today's video, smash like, comment, and subscribe. And obviously, as I said, we're going to be live streaming a little bit later on today. It's going to obviously happen around, I think, 19 UTC, when it's prime time in Empire 9 and other empires. And we're going to see where people have migrated to. We're going to be talking about it. We're going to have a bit of fun and see if we can maybe make a little fun video out of it all. Who knows, right? So until then, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.